Three, two, one, and we're live. What's up, everybody? It's Tyler with Hook Sets Are Free. My voice is a little bit gone. It is February the 9th, Monday night, little off night stream, 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, so a little bit different time for me to be streaming. It has been a few months since I've been on and live, so hope you guys have all been doing well. Sorry that we're streaming on StreamYard, so resolution is suspect. I apologize for that. Hopefully it'll be better once I, hold up some lures and such. You guys will actually get a decent focus out of that. We'll see. But hope you guys have all been doing well. It is the middle of winter. Ski season for me. Broncos up until 2 weeks ago, unfortunately. Tonight we're starting out with a Dogfish Head 60-minute IPA. This was a classic beer for me when I lived on the East Coast. So yeah, I don't know if you guys are having a beer with me or not, but either way, hope you guys are all doing well. Let's go ahead and greet you guys. We got Frank in the house. Just wondering when I was going to be on again. Yeah, it's been a minute, dude. I don't know. Is Jermaine on tonight? We got Tom Mix in the house. Riley Belden. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for the well wishes. Appreciate it. Caro in the house. Did I skip over Michael? No, Michael's here. Maybe I skipped over Michael. Good morning or good evening, everyone. Yep. Well, guys, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Looks like there's 7 people in here, 4 or 5 of you guys participating. I can't get this koozie to work for the life of me. It's one of these that is metal. You slide it in there and then screw the top on to get a good seal, and I can't get a good seal for the life of me. But have you guys had an opportunity to go out fishing, or has the weather just been so bad for you guys? Weirdly, you guys have had worse weather than we have in Colorado. The snowpack has been the worst it's ever been. Skiing has been super subpar, but my kids are in ski school and we're up there every weekend regardless. So there's no way around it. I've got 3 packages to open with you guys tonight. Caro, the family is doing so well. Part of why I haven't been streaming as much is that my wife is not working as much. So I don't have all the alone time that I used to on the weekends to be streaming live and hanging out with you guys. So on the one hand, very, very good. Quality time with the family has been at an all-time high, and I absolutely love that. On the other hand, time with you guys has been at an all-time low, and I apologize for that. So sorry I haven't shown my face very much, but that is why. The family's doing great. The kids seem to be growing up every day. You know, they're 4th grade, 2nd grade, and pre-K right now, but everybody's doing well. My 10-year-old and 8-year-old, 7, soon to be 8, are in ski school this year. And my 4-year-old, soon to be 5, is just along for the ride. So he and I are skiing together every Saturday, and yeah, it's fun. Now, my voice, on the other hand, I have been without a voice for like almost a month. So kind of crazy. I don't know what's going on. Doctor thought it was just like post-nasal drip, but that was 2 weeks ago, and it's still persisting. So probably going to see an ENT specialist here in the next week or so. So fingers crossed that everything's fine. Malone. Yeah, I was yelling a lot during the Broncos games throughout January. I will say that. I got to go to 2 of them, which was super fun, including the loss to the Patriots. But what can you do? Riley says, just threw some jigs and Firecraw jackhammers out the other day. Caught 11 and 12 1 to 2 pounders. Nice. I mean, I'll take what I can get. I haven't been out fishing for bass in months, so I am jealous for sure. Tom says ice still on top, hasn't sunk yet. I gotcha. Tom, where do you live though? Are you down south? Cold and snowy for Frank? Yeah, getting in the way of your ice fishing. I hear that. Family time does rock. I'm with you on that. 2 feet of snow on the ground and freezing there. Dude, we had 65 degrees and sunny here in Denver today. It is bone dry here. 0 fish so far this year. Well, me too, but I haven't gone fishing yet. So how many times have you been out and been skunked, Carol? Oh, congratulations, man. As you should. Soak it up, my man. Nothing better. Yeah, it does. So do you drink Dogfish Head? Being in Maryland? You know, as my backup beer, I've got the 30-minute IPA, which I'd never seen until just recently. That and their like hazy pale ale have like just made their way to Colorado in the last year or so. It's been fun to see them and try them. Dang, dude, Michael, that's chilly. Today you went to 3 different ponds. It's your 6th time out, and whoa, skunk fest. That is rough. Sorry to hear that, Carol. Keep at it. It's only a matter of time, right? Okay, guys, I have 3 packages. I've got a box. I've got a box. And I've got a package. I don't remember which month is which, but we're just going to get into them and, spend about an hour or so on here with you guys tonight. I don't want to take this too late since it is a weeknight. I've got a regular work day tomorrow. And so I'll be up early. Really should have taken the day off. I was planning on it. Every year I take my birthday off to go skiing with a buddy, but the snow has been so bad this year that we just decided to say, screw it. So I'm working, but got to be up early. Okay, so this is November's package. I think last time we hung out, it was up through October. So here's November's package. Not a lot of stuff in here, but some good stuff. 3 total items. Hopefully Brendan Brown doesn't show up in a little bit, but let's start with this guy. Do you guys fish? Oh no, this is a newer release. So the Magdraft Freestyle in the 5-inch. Have you guys tried this yet? Obviously, for the longest time, the Magdraft 6 and 8-inch were all that were available. Then the 6-inch Freestyle. Then the JDM 5-inch pre-rigged came out. And then now we've got the 5-inch Freestyle, which is pretty sweet. I did not opt to get multiple packs of these because the 5-inch, in my opinion, is even more speed sensitive than the bigger sizes. Now, I will say this looks a little bit more supple than I expected it to. So maybe it does have some great action. Maybe they made it a little bit softer than I would have suspected. I like what I see. I'll tell you, it looks like there's going to be more action to it than I would have suspected. As you guys know, the Mag Draft is a speed sensitive swim bait, just in general. Does have to be fished at a very specific speed, and that can vary on the size that you're fishing. So, for example, the 6-inch, you do have to fish at like a medium, almost a true medium speed to bordering on medium fast to get it to do its head wag and tail kick. If you fish it too slow, it's just going to look dead in the water. And then it doesn't really want to be burned either. So the 8-inch, you can fish a little bit slower than the 6. The 5, I think you do generally have to fish a little bit faster, but maybe this unrigged, the freestyle, is a little bit different than the pre-rigged. I've got the pre-rigged in a handful of different colors, and I have had success on it. And this chartreuse back is one of my favorite colors. So grabbed a pack of those. That was, as you would suspect, $14.99 for the pack. So a little pricey, but it is Megabass. So what do you expect? Yeah, same with us, dude. We've only had like 2 or 3 snowstorms in Denver. The mountains have only seen like, I don't know, 80 inches all year. And we average about 300, 320 a year in the mountains. And we are like at 30% of average right now. It's awful. It really sad stuff. If it doesn't start to precipitate a lot and soon, we're going to have some serious fires this summer. Like, it's just the reality of it, and not happy about that. Yes, thank you. Tomorrow is the day. Yeah, that's tough, Tom. My wife had skin cancer on her face 2-3 years ago and just had another scare recently. Turns out it's not cancerous, but may or may not still need to have it removed. But sorry to hear that. Yeah, are you gonna have to get a Mohs procedure to get that dug out, or either way, sorry to hear it, dude. But on your head, not a huge deal. My dad's had probably a half a dozen or more of those spots, so you'll be good, dude. And yes, wear more sunscreen. Okay. Next bait. What about this guy? This is the Buka 5-inch bull shad. So up until now, or up until earlier last year, Buka brand really just had the baby bull shad. I think they only made up to like the 4-inch. And then this past year, they released, I want to say, the 5 and the 6, as well as a new size or 2 of the trick shad. So given that I am not a huge Buka swim baits guy, this is the easy way to get in and try them out and see if I like this style of bait. So honestly, it doesn't look that much bigger than like the 4-inch did. For example, I've got here's the Spro what do they call it? The BBZ1 shad, and this is a 4-inch bait, multi-segmented. Here is the Buka 5-inch. Looks pretty dang similar in size. Not a huge difference. I guess you can see this is a little bit bigger. I don't know that it looks a full inch bigger, but regardless, this is the 5-inch Buka bull shad, or should I say Buka brand bull shad. Do you guys fish the bull shad? I have not fished this style of bait very often, but my understanding is it is a bait that wants to be burned. Like you cannot fish it too fast kind of thing. So definitely a time and a place for it, especially pre-spawn or when the water gets hot and you find that feeding window. So this they do call matte shad. In this light, it looks a little bit grayish to me, honestly, more so than like a classic matte shad. I don't mind the color. It might look a little bit different like out in the sunlight. It's definitely got a matte finish to it. That's for dang sure. Not bad, but thought I would give this guy a shot. It was on sale for $22.49. So I don't quite remember what those guys retail for, if it's 25 or if it's a little bit more than that. But I thought that was a good enough deal for me to see what it was about. So in this package for November, I just decided to go bigger and just go pure swim baits as kind of the theme. So I'm not mad about it. I will try this out. Let me know if you guys have fished them. Brew Tank Outdoors says, I suck at skipping with a bait caster, but that mag draft skips crazy easy. Yeah, it does skip easy. You know, most swim baits are easier to skip because they have a little bit more weight to them. But yeah, skipping just takes a little bit of extra practice and willingness to blow your reels up, which is not always fun. Forgot to show you the sticker of the month in November. That's a pretty cool one. Oh, dude, Tom, I'm sorry, man. On your noggin. Yep. All right. Well, fingers crossed. We'll be sending out our thoughts and prayers to you, Tom. I hope everything goes well, man. Last in this package is the 8-inch trick shad. So I was kind of mentioning this. I think originally they came out with the 6-inch. If I was more organized right now, I'd be able to just pull from a box of swim baits and be able to show it to you. But the reality is I'm not right now. Like, I got the Hogfather there. I have too much stuff on this desk to be able to sift through and pull out the 6-inch to do the side-by-side with you, but we'll do that another time for sure. So the 8-inch, this guy is like a legit size. Comes with 2 tails. And now I feel like this matte shad is just done a hair different and better than what I saw in this guy. Could just be my imagination, but I like the paint job better on this one. I also like this tail. It does come with a second tail because it does look like if this is not stored correctly or if this bait gets chewed up, that this tail is going to go fairly easily. Now, it's relatively thick, but it is super soft. So, comes with 2 tails. in this matte shad. It's a clear tail. I like that. As you guys know, this is a chopping style glide bait. So really meant to do kind of the same thing as what you'd get in like the Chad Shad or other similar style baits. I do have a Chad Shad sitting right here, along with half a dozen other lures. Oh yeah, I forgot that I bought a bull gill sometime middle of last year, and this is the standard Buka bull gill, not the Buka brand, but this is the Buka brand bull shad. So this guy retails for $50. I got it for $44.99. Of course, we can hop on Discount Tackle when we're done with this unboxing and see the availability of these baits and what the pricing is of them right now. But this ought to be an awesome bait for the springtime, for where I've got gizzard eaters and trout eaters. I love the profile of this thing. The line tie is interesting. You notice that the line tie is low on the front of the bait. I don't know exactly what purpose that is going to serve. I haven't done recent research into this bait to really know what the function there is. Maybe it's just to get the bait to run true and not rise up too much. You know, this bait does have swiveling hook hangers like you would hope, and quality hardware on there straight out of the pack. So I'm eager to try this. Pretty excited. Does have a wide glide to it, but is meant to be a little bit more of a chopping style glide. So pretty excited about this guy. We'll be throwing that, and we'll report back once I have the chance to. Have any of you guys tried any of those three baits that I just opened? Have you guys had a chance to try the Magdraft Freestyle in the 5-inch or the Buka brand 5-inch bull shad or the 8-inch trick shad? So all three of those added up to $82. Pretty cool little package there. That was the month of November. And just trying to think of how to stay organized. What a silly thing to say, because that is not my strong suit these days. But let's move on to what I think is December. And of course, I had a hook here readily available to use as a knife. Here we go. I know you'll live, Tom, and I'm happy about it. I'm happy you're going to live, dude. Still, though, I get that it can be anxiety-producing. Never fun to have to deal with cancer, whether it is the better kind or the worst kind. Big Malone says the intent is for bigger hookup, better hookup ratio, a line tie. Interesting. I guess that could make sense if the line tie is down and you set, that bait's going to want to come up, which might expose the hooks a little bit better. I could see that. I might believe that. Same sticker in December. We've got quite the variety in this package, so this will be an interesting one. quite the opposite of November. This guy, we've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9 items totaling $85. I suppose we can stay on the topic of big baits. Get those out of the way first. So, wow, this isn't even big, but you're right about that, Tom. Hank Cherry, how about that? With his win, swimming a chartreuse grub on a jig head, dude. That is badass. So cool. So, Brew Tank says, what pound test do you throw on that 8-inch on? Need to throw more big glides. 20 would be the light end. So either 20 or 25 pound test. I'm throwing it on straight fluoro. I really don't like throwing big baits on braid to a leader. So you could throw mono. I tend to just throw like 20 and 25 pound test fluorocarbon for the most part. Kind of depends on the sink rate or where in the water column you want to fish the bait. But for a bait of that size, if we're talking 2 ounces plus, you really want to be no lighter than 20 pound. So you got to have at least a mid-size reel, 200 size reel. I do often prefer to throw on a 200 over a 300 size reel just for ergonomics and the way it fits in my hand. I haven't had many issues throwing big baits on 200 size reels. But then again, I don't go out and fish big baits all day, every day. So some people might advise against it, but it's been fine for me. So first up in this package is the Z-Man Swag LT. We talked about these, last time, right? I opened up a couple of these. So I got some in the 6-inch and the 5-inch last time. I guess I had just forgotten what I got. I don't have duplicate colors, but it's like, this is the kind of bait that I have confidence in before even fishing it. So I decided to grab another one because I do think the value is pretty good with these guys. So I'll pull it out one more time for you, just so you can see kind of the construction of it and what it's about. But this is the Swag LT in the 5-inch, the rate of fall 9. So this is a 3/4 ounce bait, and it is dual rigged. This is a line through system, so you're not going to have both of these. You got to choose whether you want the bottom treble or the top jig hook, and it's optional, right? So you just remove whichever hook you're not going to use. And honestly, the harness system is very impressive. So it comes with one of the barbs or one of the hook points already cut off. That's the one that's going to go in the bait right in here. And there is a slot for it back here. And then the hook is going to clip on there. So very straightforward system. And it clips in like that. But the line through, you can feed up or feed down and then choose whichever hook you want to fish with. And then as you set the hook, it's going to detach and it's going to be a line through and be free of the bait. So super cool harness system, and then a unique tail system that apparently has a ton of versatility in terms of the speed that you can fish this bait at. It's also made from Elastec, has a great color patterns, and it's got a nail weight and a rattle in here. So very well made. It's got a rattle in the head, a nail weight in the back of the body. I don't know if you guys can see that nail weight back there. Oh, that might be another rattle. Now, I guess all the weight is up front here, and there's a rattle in the head and a rattle in the back. So either way, pretty freaking cool and a great value bait for what it is. $12.79 and should last a long time, assuming you take care of it. I was recently cleaning out some fishing gear out of my personal vehicle and realized that I had put a couple things in there that did not play well together. So I had like one of the old the Molotrons that was melted and not happy with me. So that's unfortunate, but it's kind of the price you pay when not being super careful with your stuff. So what can you do? Michael, you know, it's been time for an intervention for a while, dude. Yeah. I have way too much stuff. You know, it's a fun problem to have, but my wife regularly reminds me how I need to shed a lot of this stuff and give it away to you guys. So that is going to be my goal. I want to try and grow the channel a little bit, get some eyes on here, and then just start giving stuff away. But I've got a lot of stuff to give away, dude. So next up, kind of a bigger ticket item in this package is a new bait to the market this year from Rapala. And this is the Claptail 110. So this is their take on a plopper. Very unique design, I will say, and I'm happy about that because everybody and their mom has jumped into this category and just made the same bait. So for Rapala to come in and try to take a piece of this market that is the Whopper plopper, but do something that's different, I'm happy about that. So props to Jacob Wheeler and whoever else was involved in the design of this bait, but check it out. You got two things going on. First of all, the tail, the plopper, if you will, is made of metal. So you're going to get a little bit more of like a buzzbait type of sound out of it instead of that like subtle. It will be a bit louder. And then on top of that, you do get this spinner blade that is going to make the bait that much louder. And that is badass. So pretty freaking cool. Really subtle knocker in there, but great size of a bait. This is a 11 centimeters, so a 110. Golly, sorry. Didn't think I'd be coughing this much. Okay. That's better. Just drink it down a little bit. So the Claptail 110. Badass bait. What do you guys think? Now, who knows? Maybe it's a dud, but I'm kind of inclined to believe that it's not. It's like just different enough than all the other players in this space. And I like the take on it. I don't know that. I would hope so. Nobody wants to be stuck with some claptail. You know what I mean? So the claptail was the most expensive bait in this. I think it retails for a little over 20 bucks, and it was on sale for 18.69 when I got it. It does weigh 7/8 of an ounce, so about what you would expect for that type of bait, for about a 110 size plopper. And now I believe the rest of what we have in here. Well, no, that's not true. I got some hard baits before we go to the soft plastics. Couple of hard baits. And I got these because they were new. So one is just a variation of an existing bait, and that's the shallow Money Badger from Berkley. I do like the Money Badger baits, particularly in the like mid sizes. They make them in a few different sizes and a bunch of different running depths. And my preference with those has always been the like, not the super tiny ones, although I do have a couple for BFS applications, but also not the huge ones. And I prefer the ones that do not run crazy deep because I don't do a lot of deep crankbait fishing, but a bait that's going to run somewhere in that like 6 to maybe as much as 8 feet deep is kind of my sweet spot. But this shallow Money Badger is a 2.5-inch bait, 1/3 of an ounce, so 9.5 grams, and it runs 3 to 6 feet deep. So I don't know how clear that is for you. 2.5 inches, 1/3 of an ounce, 3 to 6 feet. And this color here is called Nebu. That's probably not focusing, but check this color out. Pretty sweet. Rad foil finish on that. Those classic 2 weight dots on the bottom. It does specify. I like that they do this, and they're printing shallow Money Badger. 6.25 is the size, and it runs 3 to 6 feet. They have all of that printed on the bottom of the bait. So pretty sweet. And then you got that pearlescent bottom of the bait. Then you've got this circuit board lip. So not quite a square bill, but pretty rad little bait there. And one that I'm excited to try. So not crazy expensive on that guy. That was $10.79. So not cheap, but not absurdly expensive. It was just priced well enough for me to say, yeah, I want to see what that's about. And likewise was the Rapala Snare 50. You seen this little lipless crankbait? So this is a 2.25-inch lipless that weighs a 1/2 ounce. So relatively classic size, just a hair shorter than what you'd see in a normal 2.5-inch lipless crankbait, that 1/2 inch or 1/2 ounce size. The paint jobs on these things looked pretty gnarly. This is like a bluegill type of pattern. Sure enough, yeah, they call it True Gill. True Gill. Pretty rad. Got that orange chin on there. Very defined cheeks and gills, and just a quality paint job on there. Not the loudest rattles. You do get some great sticky VMC sharps on, or hooks on here. They're not redline hooks, I'm pretty sure, but they are sharp straight out of the pack. So probably won't swap those out. But I like that gold bottom. It looks a bit more subtle on camera than it does in real life. It is very gold on the bottom and then fades to that bluegilly, bluish green side and then black back. So I like the small profile and that slightly unique rattle profile that's just a little bit more subtle, not obnoxious, but I like it. Add that to the box. And then got like 5 soft plastics here. One, here's an existing bait in a new size. This is the Mooch Minnow in the little guy. I believe this is 2.5. So this is just begging to be fished on, either a micro chatterbait or just a straight up smaller jig head. But take a look at like this compared to, say, the 3.5. We've got the 3.5 here, the 2.5 here. You got a pretty substantial size difference in terms of what you can do in the way that you're going to fish these. And given that these are made of TPE, this guy's going to be sweet on a drop shot or on a Ned head. And it's just got that really natural profile of a little fry bait fish. So you guys know I'm a sucker for most things Elastec and of the sort. So to get a smaller size of this profile is one that jumped out at me and at least made me want to see it in person. And I will say it's not too small. It's not intimidatingly tiny. So doesn't bother me one bit. While we're still on Crush City, how about this guy? What do you guys know about the Ned Roll? This is called the Salted Ned Roll by Crush City. Newer bait. Yeah, Michael, that lipless crankbait does look kind of angry, huh? I would agree with that. Yeah, perchy and gilly, for sure. Okay, so this Ned Roll, check this puppy out. Get something a little bit different than what you got from the Ned Bomb. Just a different profile, different shape to it. And then you get that top with the scoop on there. It's interesting. It's just going to give you a little bit more action if you're fishing a Ned rig. Just another little something to do, but also is the kind of bait where you could get creative with this thing. You notice the shape of this tail. I could see myself easily cutting out the dead space in there. It's like it's ribbed. You get these thicker edges and then the thin inside. I could almost see myself cutting out that inside and creating a forked tail and then fishing it almost like a fluke or as a trailer on something else and just getting it to do something a little bit different than what you get out of that standard, that Ned Bomb. I don't even know if that's the right word. What's their other Ned bait called? Either way, it kind of reminds me of like the difference between the standard Z-Man TRD and something like the TRD fatties, right? Where you still get a Ned profile, but you're getting something with more action to it. So same profile, same presentation is the intent, but different action on the bait. Appeals to different fish, different times of year, but also lends itself to a few different types of presentations. Okay. Got just a few more things in here. What do you guys know about this dude? This is the Maxcent Flux Gill. I really, really don't want to pull this out of the package. But I'm gonna. Because I'm as curious as you guys are. I wish I had gloves or something, because oh no. I opened this package the absolute wrong way. Well, it was sealed horribly. I was screwed from the get-go. I'm going to have to store these in like a Ziploc of their own, because look at that. The Ziploc opening didn't even come all the way to the other side. What the heck? I got hosed. This was like melted inside here. Just horrible. So needless to say, I'm going to need to put these in a totally separate bag, like right after this stream, so these don't dry out. But here is the Flux Gill. Let's try not to be too judgmental about the packaging. Yep, sure smells like dog poo, but that is the profile. We've got this solid head up front, and it's kind of like diamond shaped. It's very thick. And then you get the holes all through the body, except for right down the middle. You do have a bit of a solid body straight down the middle. So if you wanted to rig this thing on a longer jig head or a bigger hook, you can go through the middle of the bait, and you've got some meat there. You can see that. Then it tapers down to kind of this narrower tail. Interesting bait. Obviously, it is a take on the G-Crack Bellows Shad and Bellows Gill. Their attempt to take a little bit of that market. And honestly, it's unique enough of a design, so I'm not mad about it. And most of us are suckers for some Maxcent, so it is what it is. Tom, send it back and get a refund. I mean, I'd think about it, but it's honestly not that important. But yeah, look at that. The seal was like all bent up in there. Did not even make its way over here. Yeah, just a poor job. But that's okay. I'm probably not gonna send it back. Okay. I did not tell you guys what those last couple things cost. The Rapala lipless crankbait was on sale for $8.07. So not bad. The Crush City baits were $6.29 each. The Maxcent Flux Gill was $8.99. That is like full price and probably overpriced. I don't think I'd pay that again for 6 in a pack. But you know, you live and you learn. What can you do? I got 2 more baits in here. This guy I saw and immediately had to get. You guys know that I'm a huge sucker for the Z2. But what you know about that 7-inch? You guys know that I fish. Oh, just kidding. You guys do know about that 7-inch. We talked about it last time. All right. My name is Tyler. I am a baitaholic. I have a problem. Another instance of me forgetting what I had already purchased. So we got some repeats, but this Arkansas Shiner is my favorite color. Well, they call it IU. Last time I had bought the deal, this one is called IU. It's very close to their Arkansas Shiner color. Absolutely love it. This is a 7-inch fluke style bait made from Elastec. So Strike King and their version of Elastec, it's not really their version, right? I mean, Z-Man pours it for them, but the Z2 with its salt content is absolutely fantastic. I'm a huge fan. So, you know what, Michael, for me to have 2 packs of this 7-inch is not something worth intervening about. So you leave me alone, all right? It's not that big of a deal. You see that? You guys know what this is? I can't believe I bought this. Take a look at that friggin' thing. So this is the Hags Prickly Pear. What are we doing? The Hags Baits Prickly Pear, compared to the competitors on the market, this guy's like affordable. It's a 19 millimeter bait. This color is called Blue Bonnet Burst. And it's $6.99 for a single soft plastic bait. It almost looks like it's designed for one-time use because they've got this metal rod going straight through the bait. So it's like I have to take it off display to show you guys this thing. Oh my gosh. Now, it is a little bit stretchy, but this soft plastic is anything but soft. Wow. It is very stiff plastic. Almost feels like it could be like a kid's toy or something. Like a koosh ball, more so than a bait. So yeah, I paid $6.99 for a koosh ball on a stick. I don't know if the fish are going to eat that or not. First impressions of that guy are, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know if I'm going to fish that thing. Would you guys fish it? It's weird as hell, dude. Obviously, you have to throw something like that on a weighted jig head or at least on a drop shot or something, but the profile is so huge at 19 millimeters. I don't know. What the heck? So, yeah, I did that. Weird. That was $6.99. And that completes the month of December. We still have January to go. Let me kill this beer and move on to my second beer. Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks like it's just a novelty or something. I don't know. You think that looks like fish eggs, though? That would be the biggest fish egg I've ever seen. With bait fish eating it. It's a huge fish egg, dude. Yeah, I have other dice baits, but that's like in a class of its own, dude. That's not a normal dice bait. Thing is ridiculous. All right, all right. Beer down. Excuse me. So, like I said, beer number 2 tonight is the Dogfish Head. Dang it. Dogfish Head 30-minute light IPA. So, a little bit different play. This guy's only 4% alcohol, so it's like I'm doing myself a favor here. 95 calories. Do I care about that? No. I don't think they even advertise that on the Big Dog. No. It's like, I guess that's half the appeal, right? Is that they're trying to sell it to people that are looking for a low-cal beer or something. But I'm not that guy. I'm not your buddy. All right. What are we doing here? You know what? Screw this koozie. I don't need all that. It's just being annoying more than anything. So I don't need it. I'm not using it. January is up. I should not have bit into that cough drop because here I'm going to start coughing again in probably the next 10 or 15 minutes. And if I have another coughing fit, I'm going to have to end the stream. Oh my gosh. Why did they over-tape this? Okay. Oh, yeah. What do you know? Still haven't changed the sticker. Let's see. 89 doll hairs. We only got 5 items in here. Okay. So we're almost done with the stream, guys. First item. I've been rocking this hat for, I don't know, the last year and a half or more. This is the second discount tackle hat that I've been rocking. I like it a lot. I believe they do still sell it on their website. But they've got new designs in, and I got another one. Got a new discount tackle hat that I'm pumped to start rocking. Check out this puppy. Pretty rad. Looks super high quality too. I like that a lot. Now, my fat head needs a couple adjustments. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, baby. That's pretty nifty. What do y'all think? Pretty nice. I guess that is a little bit loose right there. Going or even too tighter. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. So new hat on sale for $18.74. They call this the Discount Tackle Performance Rope Hat. Really creative. Performance hat, right? Super breathable. Will dry fast. And it's got the rope. With a sweet little like rubberized logo on there. Really nice. It's going to sit a little bit high on my head while I'm breaking it in, but you know what? Screw it. I'm going to leave it on like this. We only got 4 more items in here. And then we'll get out of here, guys. I understand it's a Monday night. It's a little bit late, but this hat is rad. You guys like that? Sorry, you don't have to like it. I don't care. Okay. We'll start with one you guys have already seen. Dice. I decided to get more of the fuzzy nuggets just because if I remember correctly, the first time I grabbed them, it was like they were new to Discount Tackle and the colors were limited. So I think I only got like one color of each of the 3 fuzzy Z-Man baits. So I got one in the white of the fuzzy nuggets, one in the pink of the fuzzy TRD, and one in the yoga pants of the fuzzy bugs last time. And that was just to like get my hands on them, see what they look like. The fuzzy nuggets, I see myself using. I think. I don't know. But this is the green pumpkin goby color, so a little bit of variety to go with those white ones. So, yep, did get a pack of those. $8.49. So not cheap for a Z-Man bait. But I think they're just trying to follow suit. Everybody else is charging an arm and a leg for the fuzzy baits. Maybe it is more difficult to make them. I couldn't tell you. Another Z-Man bait. This one is new. What do you know about the fatty thick sticks? So this is the Copper Truce. This is the 6-inch. So this is the fatties. You know, Z-Man makes the fatties. It is an awesome bait. It is a 5-inch bait, but they decided to make a 6-inch version of it in a fatter version. So same profile where you get this taper and it thins up right there. Like thin enough to where then all of a sudden, whoop. And this thing makes an awesome shaky head bait. Like one of the best. Also great on a Nico rig. I've been a fan of the fatties for a long time. So for them to make a fat version of the fatties is cool. I am a little bit disappointed that they filled in the back because the 5-inch fatties has a slot there for your hook. And I always thought that was such a cool feature. So I'm a little disappointed to see that this thick sticks fatties is completely solid, but I also reserve the right to change my mind on that. So honestly, it kind of reminds me of the Giant TRD. Like it's not terribly different, but the Giant TRD is just, it's a turd, right? It's super thick and it barely tapers up towards the top. It does not fold over at all. It doesn't have any action. Whereas this guy is just made for like a Magnum shaky head type of presentation. And I think that's cool. So I'm in on that. Plus $5.09 for a pack of 6 of them. And that's going to last you a long time. 2 more baits. totally unique. Have you guys seen this thing? This is the Bill Lewis Afterburner. The Afterburner. Check this friggin' thing out. So this is not like we've seen some baits that are meant to like trail behind other baits. This is not that. This is its own lure, but this is a unique take. It's a tail spinner. So this is a bait in its own, right? You've got the line tie up front. You've got a single treble hook down below. And you've got a spinner. And then you've got this thin but tall profile with awesome colors on it. They look very bait fishy. So I've never seen a tail spinner look quite like this. And I love the profile and the look of it. Honestly, looks very realistic. And I think that thing's going to get munched. So it remains to be seen. Now, check this out. I did not even realize this has a rotating hook hanger on it. Get out of town. This thing is $7.64. Weighs 9/16 of an ounce. So you can bomb this thing. It's only 1.8 inches long. Weighs over a half ounce and has a rotating hook hanger on it. Honestly, I'm kind of tempted to go buy like 5 more of these ASAP. Just because of what it is and how it's made. I don't care if the whole market thinks this thing is a bust and it goes discontinued. I could see this thing doing awesome. So first of all, yeah, I do want to go fish it, make sure that it runs true. But from a conceptual like design standpoint, that thing is rad. That's probably what I'm most excited about of everything that I've opened tonight. Last but not least, little but mighty, the Depths Tiny Bull Shooter. Not the baby bull shooter, the tiny bull shooter. This guy is 100 millimeters, so 4 inches long and 1 ounce. This is a very like beginner friendly glide bait and also a very realistic small bluegill profile. Take a look at this little guy. This thing is freaking rad. Of course, being Depths, it does not have rotating hook hangers. Is that the end of the world? No. So this guy is called Natural Ghost Gill. All Japanese on the back, as you would suspect. This is the most expensive item that I bought tonight. Just a little bit more than that Buka 8-inch bull glide. This guy was $50 on the dot. So absolutely gorgeous. Natural Ghost Gill. Super translucent, but with the light, it is all like orange and blue. Go Broncos. Love that. So this guy's a beauty, honestly, and very realistic with the fins on the side. These plastic fins and the tail. Yeah, I've never fished a bull shooter, but my understanding is it is a fairly wide glide for what it is. These guys all have the tracer painted on the front there. Not a huge deal, but in other colors you'll see them like painted chartreuse or pink or other options. But beautiful, super cool little bait there. So that guy was $50, the most expensive of what I bought in the last 3 months, but in my opinion, worth it. So not the most exciting package there, just one swim bait, one hat, and 2 soft plastics. But I was kind of excited to try the tiny bull shooter. So decided to kind of blow my load on the one bait, and I don't regret it. So got to do what you got to do. What is obscene? The color? Is that not beautiful? You know what, Tom? That is true, but I'm not going to stay here for that. You know me very well. Once I get about 1.5 to 2 beers deep, you know that I'm running to the bathroom, telling you guys to hold on, don't go away. That is common. You're right about that. So I've probably done a little bit more talking than I should be with my voice in this state, because I've got to do a lot of talking at work as it is, and there's no avoiding that. But I've not I've not been able to give my voice a rest. Oh, it's a shame. But guys, there's still 8 people in here. I think we topped out at like 10 tonight. I'm not surprised. This was relatively last minute. I just posted a couple hours prior to going live saying that I was going to go live. So you guys are the real ones. I appreciate you jumping in here, hanging out for a little bit tonight, checking out some baits. So thank you so much for still being around and for having your notifications turned on and for wanting to hang out with me. I really appreciate it. Michael, good night to you as well. It's not that I don't feel good. I have no symptoms. I lost my voice on my way back from vacation over winter break. Went to Jamaica. It was super humid there. Came back to a very dry climate, cold, and drove straight up to the mountains and like lost my voice in 24 hours. So what can you do? Didn't go crazy while not on, but fill a few new product gaps. Yeah. Right on. Well, thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate you. Until next time, let's hope it's not a couple of months. In fact, I will make sure it's not a couple of months. I'm sorry for the gap in time. Let's make a point to hang out sometime in the next month, okay? I can't guarantee a once a week type of deal since I have the privilege and the pleasure of my wife being home on a regular basis, but I can certainly promise to be on more than every few months. So I apologize for that. Let's get together again very soon. Thank you guys for the birthday wishes. Appreciate y'all. Have a great rest of your night and talk soon. All right, bye.